How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. So if you're not already familiar with us, if you're new to the game, if you're new to the series, maybe it's been a while, that's all right. Let me tell you what we're about. So this is the web series where we talk real talk. We like to talk about things in education, mental health, employment, physical health. We have topics about divorce. We have topics about youth entrepreneurship. We have topics about, I'm trying to see what other topics do we have. I believe we have topics about bullying. Yes, so we cover a lot of ground here. And we are a tutoring company, so we like to focus on things where we can explain things in an educational and informational point of view. So today is no different. I am excited about this episode. I am going to tell you, I forgot my little banner. I'm going to do that in a second. I'm going to tell you the title of this episode in a second. Woo! All right, so I'm ready now. All right, so let's get right to it. So this episode is entitled Living with a Disability Part 2. So if you follow our other videos, there is a Part 1. We like to repeat topics here because we believe that there is more than one way to see a single topic. And we encourage our viewers to look at multiple perspectives of a single topic and not just focus on the one, right? So we like to be diverse here. So we are bringing this topic back, living with a disability, but now this is Part 2. And I have a guest with me who's going to help me with this conversation. I am totally looking forward to this. Her name is Kellina Powell, and I am just going to get right to it. So let me tell you who she is. Let me tell you about this young lady right here. So who is Kellina Powell? Let me put up her banner and let me tell you who she is. So Kellina is a young entrepreneur who loves to help people with their personal growth and educate others about the deaf community. Little do people know, Kellina is actually a hard of hearing person. She became deaf at the age of 4. She recently graduated with a psychology degree and is now starting her own online coaching business while finishing working on her book. That is dope. All right, so I am going to bring Kellina to the stage right now. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So I am looking forward to this conversation. This conversation is about disabilities, but we're going to focus on a particular disability, which is what you have, which is deafness. Deafness or being deaf. I don't know what the deafness. Okay, I was like, oh yeah. So I know this is hot topics, but yeah. So I thank you for coming, and I definitely want you to share your story. So I'm going to pass the baton over to you, but I'm just going to make this one quick PSA before I turn it over. Since this conversation is about deafness, I want to point out, I'm not sure how it works on a live stream, but in the replay, you can actually watch these videos using closed captioning. So if you feel that you need to, as a viewer, definitely turn it on, right? So on YouTube and Facebook, not sure about Twitter, but definitely YouTube and Facebook, there is a closed captioning option if you need to use it. All right, so my PSA is done. So Kellina, I'm going to turn it over to you. Please share your story with the world.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. So like Gabrielle said, I'm a young entrepreneur. My story all started when I became deaf at the age of 4. And it was like a roller coaster. I didn't know what was going on for like 2 days. I was like completely deaf. I remember, my mom tapped my shoulder and she was like, Kalina, do you not hear me calling me? And I had no idea that my mom was calling me. And it was just kind of crazy because I had a 4 years old and you have no idea what's going on. And your mom is just sitting there like, okay, this is not like. And so luckily my grandma was a nurse at the time. And my mom called her, panicking, saying, Kalina can't hear. And so that was very scary for my mom and my grandma. So my grandma went home. She sat down with me, tried to figure out what's going on. So my grandma said, okay, Kalina's not playing around because you know how the normal 4 years old they'll be playing around, but I was not playing around at all. And so the next day we went to my family doctor and they said, there's nothing we can do. Clean is completely deaf. So for those who are watching this and wondering how I became deaf, well, I had an ear infection. So my doctor prescribed me like an ear drop for it. And there's two reasons why I became deaf. One, the daycare didn't put it at the right timing, or they put it too much. So those are the two options what they could have done. So yeah, my life was really like a roller coaster ever since I became deaf. I especially transitioned, hearing a whole different voice was something that was definitely really challenging for me because I was listening and hearing different voices that was not the same versus how I was a hearing person. So it's really fascinating, really crazy how quickly things can happen to you very quickly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So let's address, I don't know if you want to call it the elephant in the room, that you're hearing me right now, or you're able to respond to me. Can you tell us how that's happening?
Sure, definitely. So it's happening because I have an iMac, so it's very loud and nice and loud, so I can hear very well without the closed caption. So I don't really need it at the moment. However, my hearing aid is Bluetooth with my cell phone, so I'm able to make phone calls without having to ask someone else to pick up the phone for me. Most of the time, I use my cell phone the most just because it's easier for me to hear directly through my hearing aid. My hearing aid is basically like an AirPod. So like the AirPod you just put in your ear, you just walk around the house without having your cell phone towards your ear. So my hearing aid is basically like that.
Okay. So how now, like, what do I want to ask? Okay, so yeah, so there are varying degrees of deafness, right? It's not just one end or the other. There are varying degrees about how deaf someone is, right?
Yes. So there's a lot of names. So for me, I am profound severe hearing loss. So what that means is I'm at the bottom of the graph. So if you look at an audiogram and you notice at the bottom silence, in the middle like mist sound. So something like flushing the toilet. That would be like a mist sound, and at the top could be like you can hear a lot of things, but not so much of everything. So my hearing is literally at the bottom. Like I can't hear anything without my hearing aid at all. Like the only thing I can really hear it will be the loud noise of an airplane.
So something like a television or a radio, you can still hear that if it's like blaring really, really, really loud.
Without my hearing aid, no. Without it, no.
Okay, so you need the hearing aid to hear sounds.
Yeah, literally. I need my hearing aid like 24/7. I can't take it out. But if I take it out, I'd be in danger.
So how does a hearing aid work? Can you go into that?
Sure, definitely. So hearing aids come to different tools, I would say. Everybody hearing loss is different, like I said. There's so many different hearing loss. So for me, mine's profound, severe. So my hearing aid is basically like a technology. And so I'll definitely take it out so you guys can check it out. Okay. So basically, so it's like this. So this right here is like all the Bluetooth is connected, the wires, everything is in here. And here's where you change the battery right here. So hearing aids do have battery. I'm so sorry for the lightning, it's so bad, but I try. And then there's a tube. So all the sound go travel all the way here to the tube. So usually normally sometimes there's a big ear mold, it's called ear mold. Sometimes the ear mold to different hearing aid person, a deaf person, it'll be sometimes very small, tiny, or like unstable. Like for this one, you can totally see it when if my hair's up in a ponytail. But some people, sometimes you can't see the hearing aid because it's so thin and it's so tiny a lot of times. But for mine, you can hear. And then I'll give you guys an example of how does the hearing aid sound. All right, guys, check it out. Okay, hold on. Take time. So that's how my hearing aids sound like when it's in my ear. But because my eardrum is really, really damaged, like it's really broken half. So when I put in my hearing aid in like this, so I literally just put it in and put the ear mode in, and I go up, like the up the loop to your hearing aid, to your ears. And then that's how like, and then when you turn it on, and that's it. So basically that's what the hearing aid looks like, and that's how it works for me. And yeah.
Awesome. So there are surgeries for the hearing impaired. I think there's like cochlear implants and there's some other surgeries. I think. Have you thought about getting those surgeries?
I was recommended by my audiologist when I think I was in high school, because that's when they realized that my hearing is like dropping like crazy as when I get older. It was unfortunate. I wasn't able to get it just because of the risk and after procedure. And me personally, I do not like surgery. I hate surgery. I will avoid that at all costs. Different people, there are only one surgery actually. There's not like two or three. There's actually one surgery, which is cochlear implant. So basically with cochlear implant, basically they, open up the back of your ears and then they put like a magnet in your skull on your head. There's a magnet, and then there's a microphone that they're putting in your ear. So for me personally, that's super risky because because let's say if you hit something and then you forget and you don't realize that you had a surgery in the ear, so you can have really a lot of either infection or a lot of damage, and you have to redo the surgery again because you injured your head. So that's the reason why I never really thought about doing surgery.
It makes you nervous.
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge difference, trust me, it's a huge difference, but it's really something to think about, especially going into table and it's really long progress after the surgery. Like it will take about like a month to heal, from 2 weeks to a month to heal, depending on everybody. Everybody's different.
So now, I think you mentioned it in our preliminary meeting that deafness also changes the way that you speak in terms of the way that the way that you speak, pretty much. Can you get into that?
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes a lot of time when someone becomes deaf or hard of hearing, their speech is different, and this is where they hear things different. So for me personally, it's the other way around. So you hear people from your ears, but for me, I hear people from my lips. So for me, I'm a heavy lip reader. So in order for me to get what you're saying, first I hear from reading your lips, and then it goes to my ears. So if you're not facing me, I'm not gonna have no idea what you're saying. I'll be like, you have to look at me in order for me to understand what you're saying. So I have done a lot of speech therapy when I was growing up, just because my family wanted me to, I would say, kind of like.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Speak better, because I might speak, because at the age of 4, you're just starting to speak, right? Your speech is getting different as you get older. But then, because when someone becomes deaf, the hearing loss do affect us, especially our speech and our vocabulary. A lot of times, certain words that we cannot pronounce, and we need help pronouncing it. And for me personally, I'll be honest, anything that starts with an S or ending up S, I cannot pronounce that very well. I don't know. I try to, but I apparently heard it's a common thing a lot of times. Something that's silent. A lot of deaf and hard of hearing person may not hear it very well, like silent, like silent. I won't always say the S all the time, but because it's silent, so.
Those S sounds can be really tricky.
Yeah. Literally, I feel like the S is always my headache all the time. I'm like, there's an S. So, yeah.
What about the TH sound? I think that's another common sound that people find hard to pronounce.
Like chocolate. Yeah. See, chocolate. See, yeah. CH is another one too. That it's like literally like the top two, I believe. CH, yeah.
And the TH, like something like thesaurus or theater.
Store, beer. I'm getting there.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's talk about you a little bit. So you were diagnosed. What's the official diagnosis? That is it just called deafness, or is there like a fancy medical term for it?
There's a fancy medical term for it. So basically, I am profound severe hearing loss. Yes, it's 2 words in it. Profound severe hearing loss.
And what's the treatment for it? How do you treat it? How do you deal with it medically?
So for me, honestly, I don't really know how to treat it. I'm joking. So first of all, basically what I do, first thing first, you go to audiologist. They will do a hearing testing, see where your hearing levels are. Then we look at your type of hearing aid that's the right fit for you, something that's affordable, because a lot of hearing aids is really expensive. It's not something that you can pay out of your pocket. It's really a lot of money. And then from there, you go in and do another testing once you get the hearing aid, just to make sure you can hear it correctly. And from there, it depends on some people. Some people prefer no speech therapist, and some people prefer to do sign language or just speak in no sign language. Um, so for me, how I dealt with it, I did have challenges. I honestly had a lot of support from my family, definitely from school, and resources that being provided to me at high school, especially high school. I feel like high school is a lot more resourceful for me because going to post secondary, I was able to get the help I needed. And for me, I dealt with it. I honestly would say definitely taking care of your mental health. I feel like mental health is really big in the disability community, and especially someone who's kind of huge package on the life. So mental health is definitely number one thing. How I take care of myself and how I take care of my hair-in-law is really on my mental health.
Can you go into that a little bit more about the mental health part?
Definitely. I would say mental health is such a huge impact a lot on the disability community. We don't even talk about it a lot, and I wish we did because we never met someone like us. Like every time you go to a store, you don't see anybody like you majority of the time. And mental health really did affect me a lot of time. I get sometimes anxiety when I'm talking to a random person. People are like, "Really? You don't look like you're nervous," and I'm like, "Oh, I am nervous." And sometimes when I'm nervous, I talk super fast because I've been bullied a lot when I was younger. So I'm thinking, it's not like I'm thinking they're gonna bully me again, but I just feel like I just that little thing that's gonna go, oh, like, what if they can't understand me, or like, what if I don't know, like, it's just so many doubts I would have sometimes, but I'm getting better now. So I'm slowly like up and down, honestly, with my anxiety and being in the hearing community. Um, but I'm still working on it. Sometimes you can be depressed, especially someone like myself is very heavy lip reader. Sometimes we don't want to talk to people. Sometimes we want to take up our hearing aids and not hear because hearing things you need to hear like 24/7 back to back. Same thing with your eyes, right? You always have to consistently look and hear at the same time. So sometimes I get really, really, really like burned out a lot by the end of the day. I'm like, hey, I want to take out my hair aids and go to sleep, or you know, play some music or something that distracts me from like hearing a lot. But yeah, so that's definitely a very important thing.
It sounds like you you dealt with a lot growing up. You dealt with bullying, you dealt with anxiety. Um, it's a lot to deal with. Did you ever feel different from your peers?
Of course, 100%. I always feel different because I always need someone to not just back me up a little bit, but just someone kind of to repeat words for me if I didn't hear the first time. Because it could be challenging for me, and especially for someone who is hard of hearing or deaf, we may not hear the full sentence, right? It's like breaking English, if it makes sense. There are certain words that we'll hear, but we will probably miss the last part. And we're like parting, and then some people may shout out at us the question that we're asking, but we never meant to ask them to shout out what they're said. And so a lot of time, I would need someone with me. So yes, I do feel different from other people because they may not understand what I'm going through, and I have to like consistently advocate for myself, consistently repeating myself. So some peers may not understand what I'm going through, so it definitely make a challenge for me to like sometimes to get myself out there, um, or even make friends too, right? It just can be a challenge sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned school. So what because I'm going to assume you did all of your schooling deaf. So can you talk about school and how that was for you? Hello? Ah, are you there? I think you froze. Oh, sorry guys. It looks like there were some technical difficulties. Um it looks like she froze on me. Um so there's some technical difficulties right now. I do apologize for that. Wait, hold on. I see her coming back on.
So sorry about that.
All right. What was I asking you? Yes, I was asking how was school for you? Because I imagine you did all of your schooling deaf. So how was school for you? If we could go into that.
School. Oh God, I hate talking about school. School would. Oh my goodness, elementary school or disaster. I was bullied like nonstop. Um, I had to fight the bully like crazy. I didn't allow the bully to get away with a lot of things. I really didn't. I kind of a little bit bully back so they can stop bugging me. And then when I got into school, um, to build more confidence because I actually moved to a different middle school actually. So I met a whole new group of friends. So that was really different and I had to rebuild my advocacy and my confidence again in order to feel comfortable in that school. Yes, I had challenges with some teachers because some teachers were not accommodating me as they should. They thought I was just taking advantage of it because I did well on one test or I did bad on the other test. It was just really weird. Um, there was a lot of challenge in middle school. I guess because they were trying to prepare us for high school. So when I got to high school, things got a lot better in high school because I was able to be more mature and more advocacy and understand like what do I need the most or what I don't need. There was a very few teachers that's really nice and they were accommodating me. But however, I did not like my guiding counselor. She basically kind of stepped me back because she thought I was not capable of going to um, university where I was supposed to go to university, and she kind of told me to do another route where my mom did not tell her to do that. And she basically didn't put my grades in on time for post-secondary application. And I remember a university sent me a mail saying that my grade was not in. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And then I went to my guiding counselor and I said, hey, like, did you put my grade in? And she's like, oops, I forgot you have two last names. So right there, that was just like literally a straight slap in the face. And I felt like, you're supposed to be a guidance counselor. You're supposed to motivate me to get to where I need to be. That's why your title is called guiding counselor. And she literally holds me back from everything. And then I unfortunately had to do one semester or a year. I don't remember. And since that happened, I would say high school was very open-minded for me because I had to realize that not everybody is gonna be so nice how you think they will be. And for me, I just realized that she actually looked at me because I'm a deaf person, thinking that I'm not capable of going to university. And that was definitely terrifying to see and witness, especially my family. Like they were like, "Are you kidding? Like Kellina worked really hard to get you where she needs to be." And loads of people know I'm actually the first generation of my family that attended to university. So when I graduated from university from psychology, that was a big achievement for my family. And so yeah, that was my experience in school.
Yes. So you had someone in a position of power that was a negative influence on you. She was, she doubted you and she thought you wouldn't make it, you wouldn't succeed.
Yeah, literally, that's what it was. Like, she did not want me to succeed. Like, it was just that. And so I was like, what? Like, just because I'm that person, that you mean I can't go far just like my peers? Like, it was just because if you're doing it to me, I couldn't imagine who you're doing it out to, right? Like, are you doing it to another student that have a disability too? Like, it's just really like disgusting. I was like, really?
Yeah. So you mentioned it a couple times that while you were in school, you had some accommodations. You had like you said you went to a special room, or can you go into that a little bit in terms of the accommodations you had in school?
Yeah, so I was put into like I don't remember what the room called. I think it was for those who had like an IEP or students that had like other disabilities. But I was able to um I guess be in a regular classroom. I don't know what that room called. But however, that room is just kind of like just give us a little help if we need for like other classes. So we were able to go to that class and just sit there and just do our assignments. So kind of like a helper classroom, I guess. So yeah, I have an IEP. So accommodation was extra time, give Kalina an extra a day of her assignment. So let's say if this assignment due today, I would get an extra time to hand it in tomorrow, if I wanted to. But I always take the advantage of those and say, hey, I need extra time because I was so fresh and I don't like to overwhelm myself a lot of time, especially school. Like school is overwhelming. I really don't like school. So school is really overwhelming for me a lot. Like I realized that a lot about in middle school about myself is that schoolwork and homework is not for me. Like I have to take my time with all my assignments.
So when you say overwhelming, you're saying it in terms of it was too much work to do, or is there more to that?
I feel like it was too much work, I would say. I didn't realize that it was a lot of work, especially like going to grade 7 and grade 8. I felt like they were just throwing things at me and trying to prepare me for high school. So they were just throwing things, and I was like, whoa, okay. Like one class, and then they're in Canada, because I'm located in Canada. So there's like different classes. So you have like an art class, then you have um, music class, then you have like so on, so on, so on. And it's like 4 to 8 classes. And you're like, it's overwhelming because the only way you can actually catch up with all your schoolwork if you like literally just like literally go home early, right after school, do your work, get your work done, and then go to sleep and then come back to school. So that was why it was really harmful for me.
Did you feel prepared for high school?
No, I was not prepared for high school at all. Middle school did not prepare me. I felt like middle school just taught me that.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You kind of have to like speak up a lot. That's what middle school really taught me. You just have to speak up a lot in high school.
Did you do that?
Yeah, it's kind of. I kind of did. I was too nervous. I was too shy because I didn't want people to overwork me a little bit sometimes because they think like, oh, like she's just a deaf person or she just have a disability, like she can't do it. Like I didn't want that negativity around me. I didn't want people to look at me like that. So that's why I didn't really talk up a lot in grade 9. But in grade 10, I did talk up a lot. Like I'm like, hey, like I need extra time, or I was starting to get comfortable until I had a read-write teacher. She said, you need to speak up. If you cannot handle the workload, like you need to tell your teacher to give you an extra time because you have that accommodation. So grade 10, that's when I started speaking up.
And what happened as a result? What happened when you started speaking out more?
I started building more confidence. I started building more awareness of my standing in terms of school and working with teachers and how kind of more like how to be myself and building a new character in myself. And so that's definitely something I learned a lot. Is, building my confidence, more about my characteristics. And so yeah.
So now I'm wondering, as you were growing up and you were, you talked about being bullied and you were getting the special treatment in school. So I imagine, kids are looking at you funny. So I'm wondering if you felt like you had to overcompensate by pushing yourself harder, by, being at the top of the class, by raising your hand the most, by doing the most homework. I wonder if you ever felt inferior to your peers and you felt like you had to make up for your disability.
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say I had to change a lot in grade 10 because when I report card, the comment is ridiculous. Like, they'll be like, okay, Kellina doesn't really talk much. Or Kellina, like, she's always in at the back of the class. Or, like, she just doesn't participate more. Or she, like, and the thing is, I do well on my assignments. I do. Like, I was doing really well in grade 9. The only thing I was not good at was math. I think that's literally almost everybody's weakest subject in high school. I think math was. So, honestly, in grade 10, I really realized, I actually know my mom, literally, first thing she did, she speaks to me about my comments. All my teachers was really bad. Like, when I tell you it was bad. And so I'm like, oh God, okay, I really need to change. I need to step up. And, and I feel like I realized that the more people that talked about you, especially teachers, I didn't want them to look at me the same way as they did in grade 9. I want to improve myself. I want to change. And that's what I did. I looked at feedback and then I bring it into my mind. Okay, you know what? The teacher said I need to stop being back on the class because I couldn't able to hear. But at the same time, when I told the teacher, like, it's kind of your fault because you already knew I was coming into your classroom that I was already done, right? And usually a lot of time what teachers do is the first thing they do, they put any disability student at the front row. And it's just like, why are we going to be at the front row? That's not what we asked for. At least give them a couple options to sit around the classroom and say, hey, this is where your seats are available are. But however, I do not want you in the back of the classroom. Instead, they just put you in a front seat. And that's what they did to me in grade 10 when I started being more confident about myself. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be in very front of the classroom because, again, I'm a lip reader. So I didn't want to be on my desk at the very front row, keep looking up every time my teacher talked. So I did not like that. So I was like, can I be in the second or third row? And then he's like, okay, fine, but you need to pay attention. I'm like, okay, I will. And so, but yeah, so definitely I would say being more participate, talking more with my teachers in terms of where do I need to work well on, what do I need to work on, what do I need to improve on. And then that's when I realized I had to work harder than my peers because I had to consistently work with my teachers just to make sure my grades are not bad, especially for going to grade 11 and 12 because that was the next step and then the outer band, right? And so that was something I had to do different from my peers. Even though it was kind of embarrassing because I wanted to be like everybody else, but I realized that there's some challenges I have to do on my own and some challenges that I need to be accepting to.
So did you, they already knew you were deaf, right? So did anyone did they give you something like whatever they said, was it written down? Or I know you eventually you sat in the back so you can read lips, but I'm wondering if there's anything else that they provided for you or they just expected you to follow the rules.
They honestly expected me to just follow the rule. Like I remember the teacher, he literally all he does is write on the board. He talks on the board. So I'm not getting anything from him because again, his face is towards the chalkboard or blackboard. And I always see his back. So I'm like, I have no idea what this professor's saying or the teacher's saying. I have no idea. Like I didn't know what was happening. Like I was like, okay. And sometimes I like literally talk to my friends. I'm like, hey, what are we writing? What are we talking about? And she's like, oh my God, you didn't hear what he said? I'm like, no, because I'm a lip reader. I need to see a lip. And he's not even what's the that's when I went to the teacher and I said, hey, like this professor did right on the board and didn't give a handout. And she's like, really? And I said, yeah. And then when finally she went up to him and asked him for it, he kind of like, oh, but she can write things down on the board. But I'm like, okay, but how am I supposed to follow along with what you're talking about? And it was just really sad. I was just like, what? And there's some teachers out there like that don't want to acknowledge the fact that you have someone in the classroom that needs accommodation.
That's very upsetting for you.
It is, and it's not fair for me, but it's also not fair for anybody else, especially for those who come from a new home or new language, and they don't know what the teachers are saying. So I remember this one guy in my class, and he was new, and he was taking ESL class, and I remember he looked at me too, because he's like, what is he saying? I'm like, we were in the same boat. So it wasn't just me that needed help, but it was other students too. And that's when I realized that I'm not alone in this situation. There are other students out there that actually going through the same thing too.
So it's you had a hard time in school, pretty much. You know, you weren't able to get the same type of education as everybody else.
Exactly. I was not able to.
And you didn't have the hearing aid back then, right?
No, I did have my hearing aid on the whole time. The whole time I had my hearing aid, but it was just, again, I'm a lip reader. Like I have to see your face in order to hear.
Oh, so even though you have the hearing aid, you still need to see their face in order to hear. It's not like they could turn their back on you, but speak really, really loud.
That's correct.
Okay. So now, you eventually went to college. So how was college for you?
I went to York University.
And how was college life? How did those things go? How did college go?
College was really fun. Well, it's Scotch University, same thing. It was fun. I learned a lot about people. I learned about different culture. It was very unique and different. I met a lot of people that were older than me, and met people who had different areas of interest and different disability people, especially. I learned a lot about myself, a lot more in terms of able to communicate with different people in different ways. I didn't know there were so many different ways to communicate with different people. It was interesting. I had this one math course, unfortunately. I had to take math again in university. I was so mad. Guess what? That professor is actually a deaf professor. He actually went hearing aid too. And it was so fascinating because I remember he was a teaching lecture and his hearing aid died. Like his hearing aid battery died. And he's like, okay, 1 second, I'm gonna change my hearing aid in front of the whole class. And the whole class is literally like a movie theater. So it's like a huge class. And he did not care. And then I was literally like,
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
oh my God, if you can do that, I can do that. So I would say that one professor honestly helped me a lot and made me change the way how I think in life and the way how of saying that I can achieve anything I can be, especially being a professor. You can be anything you want, and thank goodness for that professor.
So that one professor turned everything around for you.
Yeah, he really did.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so we are starting to wind down. So do you have any final advice for the viewers watching? Any words of wisdom that you would like to share?
Stephanie, I just wanted to say that if you're a parent, always support your child no matter what disability they have. You might be the only support system that they have and that they can rely on. My family is my number one support system. If it wasn't for my family, I would not be here right now. Secondly, for those who are watching, always use your voice no matter what it is, because you never know who you're going to impact on. And your voice would definitely make a difference in someone else's life.
And if there's a parent out there that suspects that their child may be deaf or hard of hearing, or the person themselves, if they're an adult watching and there's any suspicion they may be hard of hearing or difficulty hearing, what can people do about it?
Definitely. I would say number one, definitely go to a doctor, find out what's going on with your ears. And your doctor will tell you from there what to do. Either see an audiologist or go see like a private clinic. Do what your doctor tells you to do. Don't feel like your doctor lied to you. I felt that way. I hear a lot of stories from parents saying, "Oh, I didn't believe she was deaf when I went to the doctor," or "I didn't think the doctor would tell the truth." Always listen to the doctor. That's my biggest advice. Listen to the doctor. Secondly, from there, ask your audiologist what are resources around your community that you can attend to. It's very important to have a community within you because that way you have someone to kind of like someone that you can kind of make friends with or someone that you can kind of relate to. But it's very important to make friends within your own community.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to put up your banner. All right, you guys, you can follow Kellina on social media. She is on Twitter. She's on Instagram. She has a private Facebook group.
Yeah.
And you could also follow her on her personal profile. So if you want to reach out to her, if you have any questions or you just want to know more about her, definitely hit her up on social media. And she also has a website. That website is scrolling below, but I will say it anyway. It is KellinaEmpowerment.com. So definitely check her out. And you are a coach, right?
Yeah, I'm a coach.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching business?
So I have done coaching people, young professionals who have disabilities. So I help them overcome their anxiety, self-esteem, and depression. I have three different coaching things. So it's one-on-one, family, couples, even for parents. I also have some resources for parents or teachers in terms of how to help their child become advocacy for themselves, not just like coaching one-on-one, but also just give them that support. I also have a book coming up. So if you notice when you click on my website, there's a pop-up that email me for subscriber. Definitely pop in your email in because I have a book coming out. So that'd be exciting because my book is going to be about me being deaf in the hearing community, which is going to be really fun. So that's about my website.
All right. Do you have the book with you by any chance?
I'm trying to release my book by May 1st, the latest. The title of my book is Every Day I Am Just Deaf.
All right. So can people pre-order it?
Not yet, because I'm just literally just trying to put in a paperback to make sure it is what it is. So yeah, not yet, but definitely follow me on my Instagram to get a follow-up. So that way you guys can get pre-order.
All right. You heard that, guys. Definitely follow her on Instagram and, stay tuned for when her book comes out. All right. So Kellina, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to place you backstage. And you guys, but now it's just you and me. So I'm going to put up my banner here. All right. And we have reached the conclusion of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Whether you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, please check out our social media for more videos and clips. And don't forget to follow us. So if you're watching this on Twitter right now, press that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, press that subscribe button. And if you're watching this on Facebook, press that like button. I prefer you press like and not follow. Just FYI there. So please press that like button. While you're doing all that, please let us know what you thought about this episode by leaving a comment in the comment section below. And as a reminder, we are A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So if you would like to learn more about our company, if you want to know about our services, the things that we have to offer, this web series, you can go to our website, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com to learn more. And I am going to share this quick message before we close today.
Hey there, have you heard of us? We're a small team of tutors here at A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. We believe that education and information should be accessible to everyone, regardless of income, race, or creed. We're dedicated to making this happen, but we need your help. Please consider making a donation to our company. No amount is too small. Your donation will allow us tutors to remain employed, offer free and low-cost services, put on productions like this web series, and reach out to families nationwide. With your help, we can tackle the academic challenges of our students and the emotional, mental, and behavioral changes that result from these challenges. As a bonus, we can improve our communities in the process. Support us today. Note: we're a for-profit company. We're not a charity. Your donation may not be tax deductible. Please consult a tax professional.
Yes. So please make a donation to our company. It will be greatly appreciated. And I wish I had subtitles. I wish I had people to do the sign language. It's a little out of budget right now. But as a reminder, again, if you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, I'm not sure if you could do this live, but definitely on the replay, there is a closed captioning option. So, for those who are deaf, hard of hearing, or if you just need to know what we're saying, there is a closed captioning option available to you. And that is it for our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Now, I am signing off.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather, now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.